This is the way it feels to move through summer in Lululemon. Iconic Align softness without the front seam. For our smoothest look and feel ever, summer won't know what hit it. Stretch your limits in the non-stop flexibility of the new Lululemon Align No-Line Pant in select stores and at Lululemon.com.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Buying a car shouldn't eat up your week. That's why Carvana made it convenient. Car buying that fits around your life, not the other way around. You can get pre-qualified for an auto loan in just a couple of minutes and browse thousands of quality car options, all within your terms, all online, all on your schedule. Turn car buying into a few clicks and not a full week's endeavor. Finance and buy your car at your convenience on Carvana. Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
Meet the most capable CRV Honda has ever dreamed of. The all-new CRV Trail Sport Hybrid. With all-terrain tires and available enhanced traction control, it's built for wherever the day takes you. Heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, ideal for winter drives and crisp early starts. And with generous cargo space, it's ready for big gear and even bigger getaways. The CRV Trail Sport Hybrid. Learn more at honda.com/CRV.
Get your mother-loving ears on because your big-time radio DJ's got news. PayPal lets you choose how you want to pay for all the stuff. With PayPal, I can pay in-store, pay online, or pay over time. What's that? You want this translated into song? I hope you're sitting down. You can pay your own way. You keep those ears on, you hear? Don't just pay, baby. PayPal.
Learn more at paypal.com.
At Capella University, learning online doesn't mean learning alone. You'll get support from people who care about your success, like your enrollment counselor, who gets to know you and the goals you'd like to achieve. You'll also get a designated academic coach who's with you throughout your entire program. Plus, career coaches are available to help you navigate your professional goals. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Did you have a date night last night, Tom?
Date night.
I'm gonna miss date night.
I'm not. She pissed me off today. She really pissed me off, actually. I can't. We'll get into it, but there's a big pet peeve I have in life, and it's one of the main reasons I don't want to get married, and it all happened in this episode.
Okay, amazing. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We're here. It's me and Tom Hamlett. Today, he has changed his name on the chat to Kristen's Titties, which I have to say, like, I was actually looking at Kristen Doute's boobs this episode, and I was like, were they always that big? Like, I don't remember Kristen being a chesty bestie, but I think with age, they've really come through. I heard, who did I hear? Oh, it was a Raven and Kea, where they were talking about the latest Love Island episode, and they talked about how they think that maybe Ace is gonna Ace might be waiting for a growth spurt, and that actually I feel especially for women, when you hit 30, you do hit another growth spurt, like something else grows, like your butt gets a little bigger. And so I think Kristen now at 40 has these massive bazongas.
Well, I think part of it is that she has abandoned the traditional bra. She wears, she doesn't wear, I think she does. I don't think she wears a bra, or when she does, she does not wear underwire. Like, it's a very, and this is not judgment. I want to be clear to the patrons watching this. I'm not judging her lack of bra. We need to free the titty. Okay. I'm pro no bra.
Yeah.
But I do think we're noticing the heaviness of the bosom because there's no support. She loves a halter.
She's a boho girl.
She is Farm Rio.
I love Farm Rio, by the way.
You are very Farm Rio. I can
very
see that.
Farm Rio.
You throw down a print well. But you dress up a print very well.
Oh, thank you, Tom. That's so nice of you. You know, I'm in my brain switch between I'm beautiful and I'm a frumpy potato. So when I hear people comment that like I wore something and it was nice, much like Ava Dash feels about Ariana Zolciak Bierman, whatever her last name is, I'm not a fashion girl. I don't have a fashion point of view, but I do fucking love a print. And that's like a new thing that I've started in life. And Farm Rio.
You say you're not a fashion girl, but you know how to style really well.
That really honestly means a lot to me.
Like here's my issue with clothing. I'm not always great at the styling. I'm great at figuring out what looks good on me, but then I don't have a ton of accessories.
Oh my God.
Like the extent of accessories I have is like an Apple Watch and then a nice watch, and then I have 2 different pairs of glasses, and then I have the same necklace, and then I have hats. But like
okay, those are several accessories though that you just named.
But yes, but there's only like the necklace. This is the only necklace. It's just I can put other things on it, and then I only have 2 watch options. And I feel like my shoes, I don't have enough like shoe options. I'm trying to buy a Labubu, so maybe that'll be a new accessory.
I can't believe you're trying to buy a Labubu.
Wait, do the boys have Labubus?
No, I asked, we met last weekend, and then I asked Noah the next day. I said, Noah, are you into Labubus? And he's so dramatic. He slowly turned it, looked at me and said, are you crazy?
I can see it with his long hair, like in his face, just like.
And his lashes.
Yeah, his long,
and his
he's
eyebrows.
got the luscious lashes. Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He goes, "They're so ugly." He goes, "They look like demons." And I was like, "Okay, thank God, you're
That's
right."
The point. They're so cute.
I said to him, "You're my little Labubu," and he was like, "That's so mean." And I was like, "Oh, I was just trying to be hip. I'm sorry." Anyway, my point is, no, my kids are not into Labubus. Thank God.
See, it scratches an itch for me that hasn't been scratched in forever, which is I was like a huge Pokemon kid, and I love nothing. Like my favorite part of collecting Pokemon cards was just opening that like mystery package and getting to see what was inside. So this blind box culture is really scratching an itch. On our way back from date night last night, we have a Japanese half grocery store, half just like CVS essentially on 30th Ave, right by where we live. Not me doxing myself.
And your social security number is.
And they have some Pop Mart toys, blind boxes. They don't have Labubus because Labubus are so hard to come by.
Yeah.
But I was like, Brian, I got an itch. It's like a gambling itch. I'm like, I gotta open a blind box tonight. And so we got blind boxes. They're little Powerpuff Girls.
Blind box culture is a big thing. Noah was into blind box stuff when he watched this YouTube channel called Lanky Box, where they started off as a YouTube that just opened blind boxes. And have you ever heard a children's YouTuber? I'm not talking about Miss Rachel.
You're talking about like created for us by us.
No, I'm not talking about like kid YouTubers. I'm talking about 30-year-olds who are.
I thought it was a kid.
YouTube. No, 30-year-olds that are doing YouTube. I'm going to say 25-year-olds that are doing YouTube targeted for kids between the age of like 7 and 11. I'm going to move myself away from the mic. This is what they sound like. They go, "Hey everyone, I'm here to open up a blind box today." That's what they sound like. And
no.
And I move myself away from the mic. And are you opening up a box right now?
No, I'm looking to see some of these children on YouTube.
No, they're not children. They're adults.
Not children. Sorry.
They're adults. They're probably Charlie, whatever that guy's name is, the Coors age from fucking Next Gen NYC. So my point is, we were really into blind boxes. Well, not we. Noah was for Lanky Box, and then he got over it. And now he loves a Pokemon card. He has a Pokemon card collection, actually.
Oh my God. What are his like prized Pokemon? This is not what people are asking for. I honestly, maybe we should change the topic.
I don't know because he has, he met a girl last year at camp who decided to unload her entire Pokemon card collection to him. And she gave him 2 binders and a big lunchbox full of Pokemon cards. And he's upset. I was like, Father was like, "Does she love him? What is this?" And I was like, "No, I think her mom is probably just trying to get rid of shit." And this girl decided to give it to Noah. He's so cute. So that's probably why.
I had a holographic Mew. Bitch, you couldn't tell me nothing.
My closest thing for me to, because it's not a blind box, but the closest thing to me that was like a niche like thing that I loved that I thought was like a prized possession was Polly Pockets.
Yeah, Kix was a Polly Pocket girl. And would you chew on them?
No, I didn't. I do know what you're talking about. That seems to be something that happened to other people with iron deficiencies, but it wasn't my journey.
You chew on the furniture.
Yeah. I have several friends who have told me that. Now, I do have friends who chewed on their Barbie hands because they had a similar texture to that.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of a one of one texture. We just know what it is.
I think that maybe when I was very young, I chewed on maybe one Barbie's hand, but I had a crazy Barbie collection, a prized, beautiful Barbie collection. My mom would even make Pakistani clothes for my Barbies from time to time. I was such a Barbie girl. It was really sweet. Anyway, none of this has anything to do with what was on television this week on Bravo. No. Anyway, we got to move on. Atlanta. Let's talk about Housewives, and then we'll talk about the rest of the bullshit, and then we'll definitely end on Kristen's titties. Now, Atlanta had their finale. Kelly didn't get divorced. Charles and Angela Oakley threw a beautiful fundraiser of some sort, but it ended with a very strange ending to me. As you may remember, the previous episode, a man came up to Angela and said, "I know your husband. He shows up at the club and he's with other women." And then Angela invited this man to the party, unbeknownst to Charles Oakley, who almost tries to fight him. And I said, "Charles, this is not Madison Square Garden. You need to relax." And then Marcus comes and sits down with the women and he says, "Phaedra." It was like a murder. It was like a murder mystery that I think like I could, like, Donnie, if you guys don't know, Donnie loves a game. Donnie loves to invite us to escape rooms. He loves to do a murder mystery. He loves, what was that pageant thing he did with us last time?
It was a, what's that called? Why am I blanking on what that's called? No, it's why am I blank? It's just a murder mystery party.
It's like a murder mystery party, right?
Yeah,
but he doesn't.
Yeah. It's like the script. So everyone gets the character,
and then you get you get the character, and then he tells you.
Weren't you the killer? You won.
I won. I won. I don't think I was a killer, but I think it wasn't crime that I was committing. I think it was I don't think it was a murder. I think it was like a white collar crime. It was like a jump shot crime. Anyway, he will send us a script ahead of time. We have to like get to know the character. You come in a prop. Like it's a whole thing, right? That is what I felt like I was having to pay attention to when this man Marcus came. He said there was Phaedra called Angela. She said, "I know this guy." She then contacted Marcus. Marcus, there was an envelope and a drop off and a name like Cindy Lou Who or something. What was the name of the person that they said? It was like an absurd name.
Junebug.
The fuck?
It just came to me.
What was that? It was such a strange
make any
ending.
sense of it, and I don't believe Phaedra often, but I was watching her on Watch What Happens Live, and I did truly believe her when she was like, "Why on earth would I have anything to do with this?" She was like, "I filmed this television show for 2 weeks. I did not know these people." She was like, "I might have said shady things in the interview chair about them, but like that was after we did all of this. Like I don't." That would have taken so much planning, and I was here for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
like I didn't even know that there was beef with. Like I didn't even know that there was so many allegations. Like I just don't think that like she was clued in enough to pull it all off. I think sadly it was just this guy who pulled it all off himself.
Yeah, I think.
Do you remember that I think it was like a manager or someone a couple seasons ago in Atlanta who like was a manager for Sheree and then moved over to Drew and but the whole time I was like, I actually think none of what they're saying is true. I think they just want to be on this godforsaken television show so they can do a tell-all on a YouTube live and have a couple people watch it and make $1.
Yeah, I think so. I'll never forget that. I'm saying I'll never forget that manager. Couldn't tell you his name, but it did crack me up because during one of the reunions, I think somebody tried to call him and Andy got so he was like, just hang up the phone. Andy was like, okay, that's enough.
And he was like,
I don't care.
Because they're just fame hungry.
Yeah, and I think that in Atlanta, we've seen so many little side characters like that. Like they really think that they're going to pop off like a Dwight or like a who was the other one? There were two gays.
No, you have Lawrence and you have
yes.
You have what's the other one's name?
I can see him.
I can see him wearing the heels and everything.
Mm-hmm. A little handbag.
I'll figure it out. You keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, Atlanta has a lot of these side characters that end up popping off, right? But I think that we have like an abundance of them now. You know, I think Atlanta has a lot of this stuff happen.
Derek J.
There you go. Thank you. It's not it. And when Atlanta is happening on TV, like I love listening to Taria because Taria has her foot in the mud. Not her foot in the mud. Why should I say that? She had her finger on the pulse. I think it's the mud because it gets so messy, but she has her finger on the pulse of what the streets of Atlanta are saying all the time because all these bloggers and these YouTubers, like they send her information. She watches stuff. And so she'll always tell me all the extra stuff that's going on because if you've been invited, if you know somebody who's been invited to a Housewives event in the background, wasn't even on camera, didn't sign a waiver, that person will then show up on YouTube, make a channel, and do a tell-all. Like, it happens all the time. And I think that's what happened with this Marcus character. I was like, who are you? This was very sad. It was sad.
I don't know.
And I do have to say, last episode I recorded, I did say that Phaedra's up to her bullshit, but I guess she deserves an apology from me.
She's always going to be up to bullshit, but in my mind, like this does not scream her. It screams her if she had been around the whole season, but
yeah, this isn't it. Okay.
No.
But I did love the shady editors at the end. We did get Portia finally filming in her house. It was Simon and Portia's house, then it was Portia's house, and then they ended her season with her divorce is on ice because Simon.
God, guys, there's nothing I love more than making ice puns.
And here's the thing. It's the least we can do so that we don't think about actually how terribly scary it is. Happy 4th of July.
But also for him to be detained by ICE and then released and then still say that he loves Donald Trump is so crazy. Did you see that?
I'm trying not to, but that's crazy. It's crazy, but also doesn't surprise me because like a grifter loves a grifter. Grift knows grift.
Grift knows grift. Yeah. Grifters are scary, y'all.
And because you know why it's scary is it's not so much the grifters that's scary, it's the people who fall for the grift. I think that. Oh, really I disagree.
I think the mind of the grifter is so interesting to me, but also like so incredibly frightening. Like their brain is so quickly convinces them of these realities that are not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they believe their own shit. It's really scary.
I don't think that they do believe their own shit. I think that they know that they can make a buck from their shit.
I don't know.
I think that the people that fall for it, like I unfortunately do have many friends who have shared, who will say certain things that they're like, oh, like, you know, seed oils, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, nope. I don't want to hear it. But I could just tell.
I have a friend that grifts.
That grifts?
I have a friend that is she'll never get to this, but she
you never know.
She won't. I know she doesn't even listen to the shows that I host, so it's out. No shade to you, Nor. She's not coming over here. But because she's too busy grifting. She's always looking for like money or a job, but then also is also at the same time always at like these like crazy parties. And I'm like with like celebrities, and I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. Like, how did you get there? And she's like, oh, you just gotta like do this, and this, and you can get in. And it's like, I also I'm not gonna. I can't say more. I have more to say, but not when the red light's on.
We'll talk off mic. Very Georgia.
There's something podcast related. That's really juicy about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very next gen NYC Georgia. Actually, that girl is.
Yeah. She works, but I will give it to her. She works hard at the grift. She's a hard worker.
She's a hardworking grifter.
Yeah, she's not just like laying at home like, who can I scam today?
I think that when you say like somebody who believes their own grift, Georgia believes her own grift because you don't watch this week's episode.
She believes it's like a real job.
Yeah, she did this week have a lunch meeting with her business partner. And during that lunch meeting, they were talking. She's ordered a Shirley Temple and she said, what if I get it spiked? Oh my God, that would be so amazing. That's such a vibe. And like, what if we do that? Like, that's a great, write it down. That's a great idea for a party, like a birthday party themed birthday. Like we could get a sheet cake from a grocery store and like a ball pit. This is
Dirty Shirley's is a Dirty Shirley is a drink. That's a drink you can order, and people know exactly what it is. But I've actually never had a Shirley Temple before ever.
Oh, it's disgusting. I've had many.
You think?
I don't really love like a sweet drink. But it's just grenadine and Sprite.
I think I need a Dirty Shirley or just a regular Shirley.
I mean, the Mormon girls they've accelerated the idea of like a soda.
We're not here to talk about them.
No, we're not. Did you watch the reunion, by the way?
Yeah, for maybe 5 minutes. And then when Miss Jessie was like, you'll have to watch season 3 to learn more. I said, and this is a wrap on me.
Yeah. I watched it in the background, but every time Nick Viall spoke, I was like, this man has a podcast.
I don't actually think he's that bad at like getting information out of people. I just don't find him to have any charisma.
That's what I'm saying. Zero.
I don't think he has knowledge of. He has. I think this show actually though is the perfect show for him to be a part of because the lore is so short.
Yeah, short term.
Where I get annoyed with him is like even shows like Summer House, which are on the newer end of some of our like legacy shows on Bravo, still have been around for 10 seasons, and he's seen approximately like 3 episodes.
Yeah, no, fuck that guy. He also has a voice that it sounds like he's got a mouthful of veneers, and I hate it.
I do think he's kind of hot. I gotta say, he's kind of hot.
Oh, Tom.
And someone else is looking good this week.
Is it Jessie Lally?
Maybe.
We'll get to Jessie Lally. Let's talk about Miami, okay?
Oh my God, y'all! Lisa is my guys. Lisa, go ahead.
No, you listen. You finish your thought about Lisa, and then I have something to say about Lisa.
Lisa is the perfect narcissist. She is the perfect narcissist. She puts herself in every single situation. And my big theory about this whole season is that she went into the season being like, my storyline is going to be that I rekindled my relationship with my dad. And he's going to come to Miami and we're going to film and it's going to be beautiful. And I'm going to win over America's hearts. And half of the reason that she's breaking down is not just because he's dead, God rest his soul, but she's like, what am I going to do about my story?
I mean, I can believe that. Now, the thing I wanted to say about Lisa, we were talking about Labubu's earlier. Obviously,
she looks like a Labubu.
No, she's talking about, she finds out from, I don't know, whoever, Gertie, that Larsa was talking about Jody's face and Jody's picture, and she was passing around Jody's pictures, and that his eyes look crazy. And Lisa says, I love Jody's eyes. They're one of my favorite things. He looks like a Furby.
I'm 32, juggling family, working full-time, and earning a bachelor's degree. At University of Phoenix, I earn career-relevant skills with every 5-week course. Skills I can use now, not just after graduation.
Earn skills in weeks, not years. Visit phoenix.edu.
This episode is brought to you by Dogfish Head Craft Brewery. The Grateful Dead and Dogfish Head have gotten the band back together with the release of Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale, a light-bodied pale ale brewed with sustainable Kernza grains, granola, and heaps of good karma for a refreshing brew that's music to your taste buds. Available nationwide. Visit dogfish.com to find Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale in your neck of the woods. Dogfish Head Craft Brewery is located in Milton, Delaware. Please drink responsibly.
No matter how you travel, it's good to have a plan. Some people plan every minute. No sleep, bus, museum, another museum. while others only plan to take it day by day. When it comes to your finances, a plan is just as important. You can count on Credit Karma to give you the insights you need to understand your options so you can take charge of your financial path and find your way to money. Explore how you can make financial progress with confidence today. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on.
Hey there, travelers. Kaylee Cuoco here. Sorry to interrupt your music, great artist BT Dubs, but wouldn't you rather be there to hear it live? With Priceline, you can get out of your dreams and into your dream concert. They've got millions of travel deals to get you to that festival, gig, rave, sound bath, or sonic experience you've been dreaming of. Download the Priceline app today, and you can save up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights. So don't just dream about that trip. Book it with Priceline.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
En momentos intensos necesitas una hidratación que esté a tu nivel. Hidrátate con Liquid IV, científicamente diseñada para reponer rápidamente electrolitos y líquidos perdidos durante tu ejercicio. Hidrata tu ejercicio favorito con Liquid IV, formulada con 3 veces la cantidad de electrolitos que la bebida deportiva líder del mercado, más 8 vitaminas y nutrientes. También disponible sin azúcar. Abre, vierte, vive más. Conoce más en liquidiv.com.
And then to top it all off, y'all, she took a goddamn photo of her father in the casket as a tool to send to people when they are bothering her, to be like, this is what I'm dealing with right now. And I am not a Marisol person, but I'm loving her this season. I don't know. She feels lighter and so funny.
No, she does. I think
and she
so.
She said, no. The death does not travel through the interweb.
That's so funny. The way that she had her phone in her hand. They're it's Alexia and Marisol talking to Lisa, and then Lisa goes, do you know what I did? This. She flashed it. She flashed it at them, and then they were like,
that poor man is just in a casket, like.
And this, ay, Dios mío, don't.
You know that casket was open as hell.
Yeah,
it was not closed, and you could see his little outfit.
Would you want an open casket funeral, Tom? You think?
No.
Okay.
My family is very old. Like, we don't have many people left. Mm-hmm. And so I've been to a gazillion funerals, and so many of my relatives had open caskets, and it's so fucking weird.
Muslims don't really do open casket. We also don't do a viewing.
There's something very white about being like, one more time, look at me. What? Just once more. Give me one more time.
It is so white. And the whole embalming situation, the whole pumping this body up and keeping it on ice for several days before the family can show up.
Mama, that's MAGA. That's MAGA, Mama.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
I don't recognize that.
No, I don't either. Hello. I don't think I'm legally allowed to say that anymore. I am, after all, an immigrant who was neutralized at the age of 17. So naturalized. I was neutered at 17.
You were neutered at 17.
Anyway, Miami cracked me up this episode. It was just so funny. It was just so silly. We had, Larsa's I think Larsa's thing is that she also came in being like, I broke up with Marcus. He was also in the news doing coke. These girls are going to come after me. So what if I turn it on its head and say that Jody's actually the one who does a ton of drugs? Because he does. And that that's all Larsa wants to talk about. She's like, he's terrible. He's toxic. She just hates Jody because Jody also is a grifter who is a social climber who is climbing up Marcus's butt. But also Larsa, babe, social climber knows social climber. She's an original.
I know, but Larsa, I cannot stand Larsa. I'm okay with her never being on this show, to be honest with you. She doesn't bring the chaos. To me, Lisa brings more content than Larsa does.
Because Lisa, I think Lisa is unaware of herself in a way that I find a little refreshing also, because I don't think that she's malicious in her unawareness. I think Larsa to me she's more intelligent than Lisa, which by the way, like isn't very intelligent at all. But I think that Larsa is malicious in the way that she moves. Lisa doesn't feel malicious to me. Lisa mostly harms
has no
herself.
game plan. She has no plan.
No.
She lives life just as little old Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. We did meet Larsa's new friend, Stephanie. What did you think about Stephanie?
Jumped off the page for me. I really liked her a lot. I'm sure she is so MAGA, but for now I'm live, laugh, loving. I thought that also sometimes this cannot work very well, and it's working well for her. Is like she clearly either is a fan, like watches the show, or just like did her homework going in, because she like knew everything that was going on. She was like, let's go. I love that she checked Alexia like right when she met her. I'm like, I just love her. I also love to see, it is always like great to see women just like building their own little empires. It's awesome. And coming from Colombia, and just, I don't know. I like her a lot right now.
I do too. I do like her a lot. She just like her, like she seems itty bitty, tiny. She seems to me like Huda size from. Yeah. She's tiny.
Don't invoke her name. You know those people. You know her fans have Google alerts.
I'm gonna get so upset at me.
Wait, I threaded a photo of Huda and said something. So I said, I'm worried. This was also 3 weeks ago when Love Island USA was good, but I said I'm worried for my mental health when Love Island USA is over or whatever. And it was the picture of Huda like crying, looking like cross-eyed,
zoning out. Yeah.
The amount of Huda fans that were like, I can't believe you would do this to Huda. I'm like, I literally did not. I'm talking about how much I love the show. Like, did she buy bots, Huda?
I think so, but I also think that and listen, guys, I'm gonna do a whole Love Island episode on Sunday with Van from Best Week Ever podcast. So just a quick note about that.
She just
show.
texted me actually.
Oh, interesting. Is she talking shit about me? Just kidding.
Yeah, she's like, I can't stand Nor, but I have to do this podcast to keep up appearances.
This bitch. You know what? Forget my Love Island thoughts. We'll just talk about it another time. Miami cracked me up. We also had. Now, what do you think? Listen, I'm on Gertie's side when it comes to Julia. Fuck Julia. Fuck Martina. Fuck those turf ass anti-trans ass cunts. Okay.
Turfs sound, the word turf is so ugly, and turfs oftentimes fall in line with that description. They're just ugly humans, and it is one of the most deplorable base things you can do is to isolate the trans community. The trans community is truly one of the smallest discriminated like communities that we have in the world, and you're doubling down on that because Martina, you man-looking motherfucker, don't like that others can bend and embrace and change and lean into who exactly they want to be. Look within, little cunt.
I loved it. That was beautiful.
Thanks,
a sermon.
Guys.
A sermon. Yeah, fuck those guys. I mentioned on the day of the premiere when
it is kind of funny you calling them guys. I have to laugh at that. Calling
well, it's so
Martina
New Jersey.
And Julia guys.
Okay, these guys.
No, because they're turfs.
They'd be so mad.
Yeah.
Listen, fellas.
Fellas, move out the way.
So when the show premiered, I recapped an episode with Kendrick, and I started to talk about like the whole Julia and Gertie thing. Like, this is when that weird Zoom thing happened, and why Julia might be moving weird with Gertie. And I was like, I think that Julia may have adopted Black boys, and I wonder if there is some component to that and how she's moving with Gertie.
What is that?
And
I don't understand. What does that have to do with anything?
So I feel like Julia's a psychopath.
Well, yeah. Well, yes.
And, Gertie just saying like, congrats, like whatever. And then Julia feeling some type of way. Like, I think Gertie's very open about like social justice issues. I'm sure Gertie is not a TERF. And I wouldn't be surprised if Julia kind of like, I don't know, Julia seems like a person who would make a mountain out of a molehill. And I wouldn't be surprised if like Julia some way in her head conjured up something like, oh, Gertie's not being supportive of me because I'm adopting Black children. And now, you know, like I just feel like Julia seems like that kind of a person. I don't know.
So crazy. I know I'm not making that face at you. I'm making the face at the thought of like that being Julia's reality. Like, did she want Gertie to come over with like a Black Lives Matter flag and hanging above
right,
the crib?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think
cloth. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that she thought that Gertie was going to be like, let me teach you how to raise Black boys. Like, I just feel like that is what Julia was maybe looking for. And I don't know. Julia seems like a complete nut job. She is a nut job, by the way. A fucking episode opened up with her at her opera. Listen, honey, listen. You're a singer. I'm a singer, actually. Tom, you don't know that about me. But
okay.
We've taken vocal lessons, you and I.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
That lesson. What are you doing? She sucks. Julia sucks. And then she says,
well, here's the thing. Anyone can take a voice lesson. Like I think a lot of people should take a voice lesson. It's very like you learn a lot about your body and your instrument and all this stuff. And you appreciate your body because your body is creating these sounds. And it really is very cool. But I think she's getting a little carried away about the fact that she thinks she is an opera singer. You can sing opera. We could all sing opera. Like we can all pick up an aria and try to sing it, but that doesn't mean we're opera singers. We're just singing opera. But
yeah, and like he said, you know, singing is just controlled screaming, and I think that with Julia, it's just mostly screaming. And she said, oh, my voice is messed up because the water flew everywhere and it excuse me?
Girl, you threw the water.
You fucking psycho. Now, I will say this about Gertie. Love my girl Gertie. But when Gertie is sitting there talking to Russell and she's like crying to him and she's like, I got violated. And I agree with all the words that Gertie was saying. I agree with all of those words. I agree with them. But Gertie, sometimes I do feel like she's laid it on a little thick. I think that she's 1000%. Totally in the right. She's totally in the right. I agree with her completely. But I'm like, Gertie, you don't need to be convulsing over this, okay? Now, do I think that these girls are cunts? I do.
I think, though, what she's upset about is, like, she was made to be 100%. A clown. Like, 100%. they wanted, and also I think there is a racial level here where it's like she wants to like incite some sort of like action out of a Black woman. That's what Julia wants to do because she wants Julia to get in trouble. She's like, let's see how far I can push this Black woman.
Yes.
To do something.
Totally.
And I kind of get why Gertie was like, no, I'm just going to sit here calmly because like I need to make sure that that people aren't trying to like throw some stereotypes about me being like an angry Black woman when I'm the recipient of this assault. But Julia, I think is so out of touch with the world and just doesn't understand. These women all live in their own little universes, and
they're awful. She also, I hated the fact that none of the women really like Alexia and Marisol sat down and talked to her.
What's the problem with Gertie? What is it?
Well, I have a feeling that it's because Gertie was introduced in the show as, at the end of the day, Alexia's wedding planner. She was an event planner, right? So I think that Gertie is always viewed as by these women as like a vendor and not a part of the clique. Like she came in as a vendor. And so I think that's why they always kind of look down at her. They think that Gertie doesn't have like the star power that they do because they don't have jobs. And so I think that there's always going to be that component to them. And I think it's fucked up because Gertie's great.
She's great. I can understand that maybe she's a little annoying in real life, but like she's great for the show. And like, I think part of the issue too is I see her a lot existing online, like not with those women when they're not filming. I do think there's a situation of like, I'm not actually friends with these people. Like she is friends with Nicole.
Yeah. And by the way, did you see that Nicole and Tiffany have a podcast? Tiffany Moon?
Yeah. Like doctors do it better on TV. I don't know. What is it called? What's it called?
Dr. Doolittle, the podcast?
What's up, Doc?
Wait, hold on 1 second. I have an intruder at my door. 1 second. Yes? You want to know he just asked me?
What?
Aiden just asked me, is it okay if I have hot dogs with my lasagna?
You know he just wants attention.
It was Aiden this time. Noah always
that's
wants
true.
attention.
No, that's true. Aiden is not that way.
No, Aiden's actually legitimately asking me a question. He's like, is that acceptable? Baby, it's July 4th. You can have as many hot dogs as you want.
Noah's always like, hey, so like,
can I just crazy?
What's crazy is like, there's a couch downstairs and I just don't really know, like, should there be me sitting on it?
Noah's just, and honestly, he just wants to come in. He wants to just prance into my room, my office, and look at whoever I'm talking to, bat his lashes at them, and then be like, look at me, I'm also here. Yeah, buddy, we know. Anyway.
He's such a little star.
Mm-hmm. He has, I fear he is a star. He's a
star. You don't need to be scared of it.
He's starting improv classes at Paper Mill Playhouse in the fall.
Oh, that's cute.
Mm-hmm. I gotta put his energy into it. He's a very creative boy, so put his energy somewhere. Anyway, baby shower. Do you care for baby showers?
Yeah, I think I prefer a baby shower over a bridal shower. Shout out to the brides and the moms, but I'm gonna have to swing baby on this. It feels more needed.
I prefer no shower.
I prefer no shower, yes, but I think a baby shower can be kind of sweet.
That game where they ate food shit out of a diaper, would you do that?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, it's not like actual feces. Like,
I know. I'm not interested like in any of that. People just I can't. I don't like it.
Definitely was gross, but
I hate going to a party where they make us play a game. I did just say that I love Donnie because
we're going to a 40th birthday party next year where the whole weekend is a game.
It's different. It's different. Okay. But
you don't want to force a game. Like you don't want to force like an interaction with strangers, like where you go in and you didn't know that you had to play like a get to know me scavenger hunt sort of situation.
Absolutely not. Like, here, I'm coming to your shower, take the gift, let me eat some, puff pastry goods.
Yeah.
Let me get the fuck out of here, man. Don't make me play these games. I didn't have any games at my baby shower.
I see. My only thing with baby showers and bridal showers, and we need to release this, is making the woman of honor have to open.
Oh, we
gifts.
Don't do that. I know that's. I
find it so tacky.
Yes.
Because one of my biggest pet peeves is when people make gift giving about themselves. If you want to give a gift, but you should never expect. You should never expect a thank you. You should never expect, you should go into something giving something because you want to give it, And the idea that you have to open a present and be like, oh, you shouldn't have gotten me the baby bottle heads that look like How to Train Your Dragon characters. What are we doing?
Oh, thank you for getting me 3D printed nipples.
Yeah, what?
That look just like my nipples.
Just give me money to buy diapers.
Thank you. I hate the act of sitting around and opening gifts. I don't like it. We don't do it. I don't do it. We don't sit around in front of people. The fact that you go to a party and
ugly.
It's hideous. I hate it. It's not. That's not a part of my culture. Also, my culture, we're no box gifts people. Okay, you just come, you hand people an envelope full of cash, and you keep it moving. All right.
For a wedding, I don't like buying a spatula. I'm I'd rather send you $100 to have dinner on me on your honeymoon.
Yeah, to help you cover the cost of this wedding. Go for it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
totally.
Of course. Anyway, the Valley. Speaking of nipples. This episode of The Valley, we were in Maui, and Kristen Doute, Mariposa. I want to talk about character arcs. I mean, she got engaged. She was proposed to. But the big concern for a good part of this episode was, how do we get Kristen to take a shower? Speaking of showers.
I love how she was like, you don't shower in Hawaii. You go into the ocean. I'm like, Diva, no, you shower. I'm sorry, I can't imagine wanting to like have your partner get all up in your coochie after you haven't been showering, but you've just been in the ocean.
Tom,
I don't want ocean coochie.
Listen, there are people who I know that have said that when they were growing up, the entire summer, they never really showered because they were going into the pool and the lake all summer long.
One, never. Two, at least a pool has chemicals that like are like cleaning bacteria. A lake is literally a toilet bowl.
It really is. I mean, Tom Schwartz did take a lake bath and then a horse bath in the lake, and then he went and got married.
That was a creek.
A creek.
Yeah.
No, that's disgusting. That is so gross. Okay. And then these same people are going to be looking at Zohran Mamdani eating food with his hand and be like, that's disgusting.
Yep.
Sir, please. Anyway, Kristen got engaged. I also lulled at the panic that Janet and Jason had when they realized like we gotta find other stuff to do. And it's just so funny because they're both like kind of stressed out and squabbling. And Brittany is there being like, I just feel uncomfortable being here.
Y'all, Brittany is on my shit list. Brittany is the reason I don't want to be like, I don't want to have a wedding because she is the type of person that I despise around any sort of life event because she wants to be a part of it all and she wants to make it all about her. I find it such an ugly trait in people. You think it's supportive. It's actually not. It's very ugly of you. Like, let people do what they want to do and don't make the shit about you. You confidently sat in that interview chair and said all this shit about your best friend's proposal, saying how you wanted to be a part of it. And she's like, no, I love fishing. Fishing is one thing I love to do. I would have gone out on the boat and gone fishing. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, don't make this about you. It's not about you.
No, I hate it. I hate people that make the engagement about themselves, the wedding about themselves. Like, you know, the tradition of catching the bouquet that the bride throws?
Yeah.
My understanding is that, like, people fight over that. Like, white girls fight over who's going to catch the bouquet.
Yeah, that's our culture.
I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I hate a lot. Something else, speaking of white culture, especially after being in a relationship with a non-white person, Brian is half Puerto Rican. Something I've really learned is that white people there's not really a precedence for hygiene. Back to Kristen not showering. Like, there's just not really it's not ever taught how to actually like clean your body.
Which is nuts. That's
like, I think waist down on a lot of white people it's a really scary space.
Yeah, it's a toxic situation.
It's kind of hazmat suit area, if we're being honest, with a lot of these people.
No, and it just I hate it. I don't like it. It makes me very concerned. Yeah, it's something that I learned early on in life, that some white people are not cleaning themselves. Because I remember being a kid and coming to America and going to school and being like, why does everybody smell like a dog?
Yeah. See,
why do these greenies smell like a dog?
To be vulnerable, something about me that I didn't start doing until very recently is like adequately like moisturizing my body head to toe. Because it was just not something that we ever were taught to do. I don't think we had, like, mom had like body moisturizer in her room, but like we were never taught to moisturize. Just some dry ass white kids running around barefoot outside in the streets of Flower Mound, Texas.
Yeah, and then your skin is so white and ashy, like nobody could tell that your dead skin's just, there's no exfoliation. Oh,
I can't stand people who are like, well, white people don't get ashy. It's like, no, you're just white, so you can't see it.
Yeah, your dead skin is scaling everywhere. It's just shedding everywhere. Ooh. Anyway. Listen,
I'm dewy and moisturized head to toe now.
No, you are. You're
I moisturize every part of this body.
Now, I will say a couple of things about you from today's episode. You accessorize beautifully. You always dress really well. And you have great skin. Last time we saw each other, you said you wanted to start on a Botox journey. I don't think that you need it. And
just a little.
Maybe. Okay, sure. Why not? Well, who the fuck am I? You know what?
Forehead.
When you turn 30,
I don't have 11s, and so people often say like you don't need it. It's like no, but I do have some forehead stuff. I feel like 11s are where people go first.
When do you turn 35?
December 4th
of this year.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
What do you mean? How old do you think? How young did you think I was?
In my head, you're perpetually 33.
So I was at a pride party on Sunday, and this guy, I don't know how we were playing the how old is everyone game. It's just that game never ends well, and it didn't end well for me. Well, it ended good for me, but not me when I had to guess someone else's age.
Oh no!
So they thought I was 26, and I was
beautiful.
Like, "Excuse me, one like am I acting 26? Because I pray I'm not, but because 26-year-olds are maniacs." Shout out to all the 26-year-olds. But then I was saying, I just always assume everyone's my age. Like I'm always just like, everyone's 34. Like I just always think it. Like I never really, age doesn't really clock with me with people. And so we were going around. I was like, are you like 33? And they're like, yeah, 33. And the next person was like, are you like 33 too? And they're like, yeah, me too. And then the next person looked a little younger, but like not by a lot. And so I was like, oh, so I know I think you're a little younger than everyone. So like, are you 30? And they're like, I'm 24.
Oh.
So the game fell on. I fucked up the game.
Can I tell you one of the most amazing moments of my life, and you were present for it?
Oh my God, what?
When it comes to age, is a couple of years ago, I went out to dinner with your friends for your birthday.
Did Bradley say something?
And I said, oh, blah, 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 my kids. And Bradley said, you have kids? And I said, yeah. And then he was like, how old are you? And I think at the time I was 38. Yep. He was like, what? And now Bradley is one of the most gorgeous men I've ever seen in my life.
Bradley's like a human specimen.
No, he actually he played Hercules because he looks like a god. He is gorgeous. Okay. He's stunning. Okay. And so for him to look at me and be like, what? Like he was shocked at my age. And I was like, this is amazing. I've had 2 children. I've survived a lot of trauma. This moment right here is the greatest moment of my life. Thank you.
No, when you get a compliment from Bradley, you're like, I can go die in an open casket happy now.
Don't bother washing my body.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, speaking of showers. Okay, the Valley.
The proposal.
The proposal.
Of the century.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
I think we're gonna say the same thing.
I got a little emotional watching and I loved it.
I shed a single tear. I'm not, guys. I'm not kidding, and I don't really cry much. But I was like, wait.
Beautiful.
I think there was just Kristen is so evil, but she's also so salt of the earth human, and she lives so authentically, and it's so refreshing to see someone just authentically in this moment, and not like a Lindsay Hubbard put shoulder pads on to go to the beach, like. She really was just like, I'm having the best time with the people I love. And oh my God, I'm engaged. Like, there's just not a lot of, it's so surface. Like, she just is her. There's no like put on persona. I know she's done some evil things, but I still have to say she's one of our, she's a true artist of the reality TV form.
She really is. And she's come a long way. Like, I love the fact that even this episode, though, we still got that flashback of Kristen sucking down an iced coffee or whatever, and then revving up slowly to be like talking shit about Janet and Jason. I love that moment. They flash back to it so many times. She sits there and
she goes like this. And what does she say? She's like, and he doesn't wear his wedding ring.
She sucks down. It's my favorite.
She can't find the straw. She thinks she's like delivering. She's like, and he can't wear his wedding ring.
Yeah. Maybe talk less about people when your husband puts his wedding ring back on. And then fights with the straw. It's my favorite. And my favorite in that also is because Jesse Lally loves to surround himself with messy people because he is actually truly the messiest little bitch in the world. Now, you said earlier that he looked beautiful. Now, Tom, I'm going to text you a picture. I watched this episode last night and I said, I need to take a picture of this. I may have rewound the TV multiple times so that I could catch this moment. I'm going to send you these pictures. This moment of Jesse Lally when they're sitting in the hotel room and Zach tells him that, Kristen's being proposed to. We're going to give him them the presidential suite. Jesse's in the shower. He comes out with a little towel wrapped around very high up on his waist.
Yeah, I do that.
Just the way he's sitting there.
Nora, watch your mouth. I do that.
No, I expect you to do that. But just the way Jesse did that, like he tied the towel pretty high up on his waist.
He's a diva. He's a diva doll.
He's a diva. He sat down, he crossed his legs, and he said, "What if we get like 50,000 roses?" And Zach is like, "With what money? What's going?" He's like, he calls the front desk. He's like, "Can we get 100 million hibiscus roses all over it?" And they're like, "What, sir? What are you saying?" And we keep getting flashes back to Michelle being like, "He's broke. He has no money. He wasted millions of dollars."
My baby is so crazy. Also, why am I on Do Not Disturb? Are you on Do Not Disturb while you record, or am I on Do Not Disturb?
No, you're on Do Not Disturb while we record. I'm on too many group chats, babe.
Oh, okay. I knew you'd somehow flex on that. No, Jesse. Here's my thing: is I do know he's evil, but I just unfortunately. I do side with him sometimes on things that I wish I didn't.
Well, Aaron, in your defense, Aaron, you're going to talk about Furby eyeballs. I mean, that man's eyes are terrifying.
He's made of his body composition is made of cocaine and chicken breasts
and honey.
Honey.
No, I mean the honey he sells.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I think he literally eats a chicken breast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then his bedtime snack he just like unhinges his jaw and puts honey down his throat.
Those eyes are so cookie crazy. They're so crazy.
They're so Wendy Williams about to pass out as the Statue of Liberty. Like they're just crazy.
And I never know if it's just bad editing, but because in the next day when they're at the pool together, I was like, oh, those are normal eyes, but maybe those are his Coke eyes.
I definitely think there was some ups playing in the bloodstream.
Would you snort a wad of wasabi?
Of wasabi? No.
That's what's his face did. Luke did.
Oh, I think I missed that. When did he do that?
So we got this like little flashback of Luke. I appreciated that the editors did this. They're like, you know what, we put Kristen Doute through the ringer for many, many years. Luke has a meltdown the night before the proposal. He snorts a wad of wasabi. He's running through the hotel in his underwear. I was like, oh, a match made in heaven.
I missed the wasabi part. Yeah, okay.
A match made in heaven.
They are. He is crazy in the eyes. They are a match made in heaven.
There's this confessional look that Luke has that I was taken aback by. So he's wearing like a pink suit in the confessional look and he's talking about Kristen, whatever. And I never realized until it zoomed out that he's wearing a suit with shorts.
Yes, I have clocked this. That has been his like main look for a bit, and it is a suit with shorts. Because then we also got a second confessional from him where he is full Duck Dynasty, and I'm like, I literally went, yeah. Like the beard game is so thick. I was like, oh my God.
Luke looks like a Victorian child to me sometimes. Like it's so weird with his beard.
And you know, I'm gonna say something that maybe get me in trouble. I do sometimes find him attractive.
Listen, it's end of times, so you gotta just
hurt me, guys. Don't do it. Don't come for me.
The Valley. I'm just really happy for Kristen Doute. The bazongas are great. I do think that she either doesn't wear a bra or she wears like the stickies.
She needs she needs some hoisting tape. Like that tape where you can essentially make a bra.
Yeah. I'm interested
or honestly don't.
No,
honestly
don't.
I'm being misogynistic.
I'm interested in those. Well, also she's like 41, so I think that's just. I hate to tell you, Tom, and that's where your boobs go when you have them.
My boobies will be down there too.
Yeah. You've complimented me on mine a few times when I've seen
great bubbies.
Thank you.
Actually, thought you might have had them done.
Thank you. No, I just wear
like not a boob job, but like a lift.
No, they've just, I just have a good bra. But the problem right now is that I've been wearing a bra that, it's not a problem. I love it. I wear a bra without any padding, which I think is really it for me. Like, I love that. But the problem is that you can always see my nips.
Yeah, but that's kind of in right now. I mean, I don't know about being a mom and it being in, but let it be a mom and be in, you know?
Like, I sometimes can't wear certain tops, like, because I feel like they're very pronounced. It's very
it's a little
Rachel
Girls
from
Gone
Friends.
Wild. Yeah,
it's a little, and you're like, this is camp drop off.
It's a little Desi Gone Wild.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little much. So I do. If somebody has a minimizer bra that doesn't do that to your nips, let me know. But I think that also, not to brag, but I think mine are just always erect. I hope no one in my family
erect was crazy. That really took me back.
What else do you use for your nipples?
My nipples, I have tough nipples. They don't like to be hard a lot.
I think mine are just always
oftentimes hard. They're kind of just like, they're just kind of cone shaped.
Okay.
I wish they were harder more. Like, I can just like give them a little yank and they're hard.
Give them a little yank.
Wait, Nora, are we going to talk next gen or no?
Yeah, we can briefly.
Well, I didn't watch
No, I know. No, that's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
because I have something to wrap us up on whenever that comes that I found for the 4th of July on Instagram, whenever that moment comes.
Right now for next gen?
No. It's Bravo adjacent, but it's a 4th of July Bravo post that I feel like is important to share. It happened right before we logged on.
Okay, amazing. Real quick on next gen, you want to talk about people who don't shower or not clean? That girl Georgia is an anomaly. She want to talk about Victorian child. Okay.
Yeah.
Weirdo through and through. But I do love her really getting in on Charlie. What I think was
that scene was great. I saw that scene.
Beautiful. Now, what I do think is hilarious about this show, watching Next Gen NYC at the same time as Love Island, is that everybody is the same age. Like, the fact that Ariana,
that's really interesting.
Isn't that something? Like,
but they feel so much younger. Next Gen.
Ariana, Gia, Brooks, like, they're all under 25. I think that Charlie's 29 and then Amira is 27. But everybody else is under 25. And I've been saying this every week. Brooks Marks is a delight. Like, I kind of want to be his friend.
Here's my issue with Brooks Marks. It's not really with Brooks. It's more with like the community. Is like when he was on Salt Lake City, we were uplifting him like he was this like legend of reality TV children. And for me, he just seems like a very nice guy. Like,
yeah.
And I think he works in the show because he's a good glue for the show.
Yeah.
But he's not like I don't know that I think he's like a star, but I do really like him.
No, and I think that actually all of the children on the Housewives, well, Ariana's the star. Ariana, Gia, Riley, and Brooks, watching them together is actually lovely every single week. I'm like, this is great. He cracks me up. You know, we talked about like Brooks Marks's fashion design or whatever. It's just like the one blazer and then the one tracksuit. But let me tell you guys, Brooks Marks' greatest accomplishment in life, his greatest product is his mother. All of the queen icon mother shit you guys are doing for Meredith Marks, that's all Brooks. Brooks has propelled his mother to the level that she is because that lady was awkwardly DJing last weekend in New York City in Times Square. Jumping up and down in a way that I said, she's going to get hurt. It was so weird. I've never seen a person jump like that, but I'm like, that is his greatest project. Did you
see that David Guetta says she has what it takes to be a DJ?
Shut up, David Guetta. Get out of here. Anyway, I love the show. I think it cracks me up, but it is really funny that they're all like under 25, and so is everybody on.
That is
Love
crazy.
Island.
And on Love Island, they feel like 40. They do. I'm sorry, y'all. Those people look weathered. Maybe they've just been trapped in that Fiji sun for too long, but those people have been through something dark over there.
Yeah, those people are on TV because they need the 100,000, and I think that's the difference. Is that
do they? That's the thing. I don't know that some of them do.
Ace doesn't. Ace makes probably like millions on TikTok.
Okay, so I did a deep dive. Ace has this insane, like, it's he calls it his studio, but it's a 2-floor apartment in LA where it's like a creative space for him to film content and like have meetings. And I watched a tour of it on his TikTok. I'm like, baby, why are we on Love Island?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me hate him, to be honest.
He's 22.
And that is so upsetting.
Somebody said he's a COVID high schooler, and I was like, oh God, I think they all are. Actually,
I think they all are.
The problem. Anyway,
Ariana was on Watch What Happens Live, and she's with Phaedra, that same episode. And Ariana Bierman, not Maddox Bierman. Yeah. And she was saying that her and Riley are best friends now. Like, they're like real life besties.
Yeah.
I think it's so sweet, especially because their moms hate each other.
Yeah, and I think that it also shows a lot about like the younger generation's ability to like separate things, which I think is really good. Like Gia can't do that. Like Gia's a crazy person.
Gia
like
is not. And Gia is not 24. Gia is a 50-year-old like chain smoking Italian woman. That's who she is in her spirit. And she'll never be one of the girls.
She's Janice Soprano in her spirit.
Completely.
Yeah. But yeah, I loved it. I loved seeing that. I love that they're actually really, really close friends and that they have a real relationship. Agreed. Okay, Tom, what's your thought about July 4th and Bravo to wrap up today's chat?
So this comes from an artist. She needs no introduction. I'll just play you the reel.
At Strayer University, we help students like you go from, is it possible? To anything is possible by offering access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses, so you can reach your goals affordably and fast. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. No-cost gen eds provided by Strayer University affiliate Sophia. Eligibility rules apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This episode is brought to you by Blink, an Amazon company. Think you're ready for Prime Day? With up to 50% off Blink Smart Security, you will be. With crisp HD video, real-time alerts, and two-way talk, you'll know the moment your packages arrive. Save big on Blink Smart Security, starting at just $19.99 with the Blink Mini 2 plug-in camera. Shop now at amazon.com/blink.
Going on vacation? We're here for it. With kids who turn a back seat into a courtroom drama over whose tablet is louder, whose charger is faster, and why watching the same cartoon for the 100th time is a human right? Yep, we totally have vehicles to handle that. Because whether it's a road trip or a business trip, where your flight's delayed, your phone's at 2%, and your dinner, whatever's open, yeah, here for that too. Enterprise, we're here for it.
Buenos dias! Café Bustelo espresso-styled iced coffee is hitting refrigerators with a cold front that'll sweep through your senses. So keep the coffee pours long and the cold sips slow. Café Bustelo está aquí.
So that's the reel. That's all we have. It's just Luann singing, and the caption reads as follows. Lady Liberty never goes out of style. A kiss emoji and a star emoji. On this 4th of July, I'm especially reminded of the Statue of Liberty, not just as a symbol of freedom, but as a part of my personal story. My former husband's ancestors, Count Ferdinand de Lesseps, played a key role in bringing Lady Liberty to life, helping to oversee the construction of her pedestal. It's a legacy I carry with pride and a reminder of the enduring ties between France and America. Have a safe 4th of July.
I love her so much.
She's one of the best to have ever done it.
I mean, you want to talk about reality TV stars. You know, we have
she's in the pantheon, absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would love to see Kristen Doute and Luann in a room together.
I wonder if that exists. Like, I wonder if they have a photo of them together.
I would love to see that. I would like to see that. Anyway, that was beautiful. Thank you, Luann, for reminding us that you are involved in America's legacy.
I'm not finding any photos of them together, but when I did Google Kristen Doute and Luann de Lesseps, the next word Google suggested for me was movie, which I'm open. I'm open to that.
Oh my God.
That's something I'm open to.
Yeah, I would like to see that. Again,
like a buddy cop film with the two of them.
Now, I have some information from somebody who was in the clubhouse recently. And they said that they are bringing back 2 classic RHONY housewives to the new season of Real Housewives of New York when that gets rebooted.
And promise you it will be Luann and Dorinda.
Oh, God, Dorinda?
You don't think so? I don't think it's Sonia.
I know, she's going through it.
Which I'm open to seeing.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Sonia also allegedly got kicked out of one of the rumors about her was that she got kicked out of a spin class because she kept making out with her boyfriend. I was like, let her do it. Why would you kick her out?
Who cares?
Who cares? Be cool. Don't be all uncool. She wants to make out with somebody in a spin class, probably at like 10 a.m., still drunk from the night before. Let her fucking do it. Okay.
Shout out. Wait, who do you think it is then? If it's not Dorinda?
I thought it was Sonia and Luann.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they're kind of done with her.
Oh God, I wish that they'd be done with Dorinda.
She also doesn't live, but Sonia doesn't live in New York anymore. She full time lives in Boca.
Oh yeah, that's right. She just
the only people that live in New York are Luann and Dorinda. And honestly, it makes the most sense for them to be in the mix.
Oh my God. Well, Dorinda's going to bully everybody.
And she's going to be so mean.
She's so mean, so nasty, so rude. I can't believe she's back on Traitors this season. Disgusting. Anyway, I now have a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay. Guys, have a happy 4th. Thanks for having me, Nor.
Of course. You know what? Go eat a hot dog with your lasagna if you must.
I'm actually going right now to go get barbecue and beer.
Yum. I love that. We're going to go paddle boating.
Fun.
Yeah, we do it in your house. It's a beautiful little pond lake situation. It's actually really nice. There's like a really nice hiking trail too.
Sounds great. Yeah,
and they're like the swans.
I actually know exactly what you're talking about from like driving by your house. I know that
area you're exactly. Yeah. Yes. Well, guys, that's it for this episode. I'll be back on Sunday to talk about Love Island. Okay. And what?
Cheerio.
Yeah, and you know what? Last night's episode of Love Island was amazing. Talking to you this morning, Tom, has been amazing. And, that's...
My phone just went off. Sorry. No, my phone just made a noise.
Rude. Anyway, and that's what America's all about, okay? Talking to your friends and watching bullshit TV and disassociating from the horrors that persist.
Persist, everyone. Bye.